It's my dick in a box. My dick in a box, babe. It's my dick in a box.
Hey guys, welcome to Hammer Facts. This is the first segment of Talking Dirty, and I'm going to be doing it on the Stormtrooper move. Now, a lot of you will be saying, well, the Stormtrooper move is not really a dirty move, but used in the correct application, the Stormtrooper move can be quite a nasty trick when used properly. So for this little demonstration, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using these guns as they are, 76mm Russian anti-tank guns. We're going to make these martyrs. I just didn't have any martyrs, and martyrs is the best way to sort of explain it. But basically, all the martyr was a Panzer II chassis with a Pak 40 on it. Quite a devastating weapon. As many people know, the Pak 40 was pretty nasty as it was. But I think the anti-tank Pak 40 I think it's anti-tank 12. It's 2 shots, 3+ firepower. The anti-tank rating of these guys is anti-tank 9, 3+ firepower with 2 shots. Okay, so this little scenario, this little template thing here, I'm just going to use as a wall. So that's just my wall, and yeah. So basically, these guys are sort of down the field a little bit. We'll say they're within 16 inches. So just say it's close proximity, even though that doesn't actually replicate it. But we'll just say that. In future, I'm making a board up with a whole heap of little bits and pieces, little scenario setouts that I can do these little things on. So it'll only be on the paper here for a short period. It's not going to be continuously on the paper, and when I get the board made up, it should be pretty sweet. So in this situation, we're going to say that the guns are dug in, because you would dig them in, or you start off in prepared positions dug in. Now, if you're starting the fight with your guns, you're going to have them in positions. You sort of always want to sort of deploy them last before anything, so you can, because when you're actually, unless the mission states that you deploy all your army first or something like that, usually it's you deploy a unit, your opponent deploys a unit, so on and so forth. These are the last things you want to sort of deploy, these sort of things, simply because you want to put them in situations where they can be used quite effectively. It's not something, they are a heavy gun. You don't want to be picking them up, moving them around, even though the Russians have a rule called roll up the guns, where they can actually, all their heavy and medium guns move as light guns. That still only gives you a 4-inch movement. Light guns only move 4 inches. Heavy guns move 2 inches, and so on and so forth. And immobile is exactly what it says. It's immobile unless you half track it or truck it around and stuff like that. So in this, these are martyrs. So they're going to be in behind the wall here. But first, what we're going to do is we're going to say, all right, the Russians have been cracking off shots at other units around the place. Now it's the Germans' turn. So these guys are back here. So the martyrs, they're going to move. They're going to move out here on one of their moves, and this guy is going to move. I'll just move this over out here on one of his moves. So something like that. Now, shooting phase. So the martyrs get 2 shots each. So they crack off a couple of shots, close quarters, they take out 2 guns. Or even, let's just say, let's be a bit kinder to the Russians, let's just say just 1 gun. Now it's the assault step. So the steps I've gone through here is the movement step. You've put yourself into position. Then you've done your shooting step, you've taken out, and then whatever the sub steps follow with each step, that's what you follow. and now now it's the assault phase where Stormtrooper comes into play. So now the Stormtrooper. Now I'm going to say these guys are SS, just simply because that gives them a 3+ skill check instead of a 4+. Here's 4+, which is confident veterans. These are fearless veterans. So this is a skill check, and this goes off not the it's not the trained veteran and conscript column. This goes off your fearless, confident, and reluctant column. So if you're reluctant, it would be a 5+. As a confident, you would be a 4+, which that would be here. So grenadier, platoons, and stuff like that. And SS are fearless, so it's a 3+. So it's a 3+ skill check. And they make their skill check. So basically they've cracked a couple of shots off, killed a gun. Now they're going to Stormtrooper 4-inch. It's a 4-inch movement back in behind the wall, like such. Clean out of sight, line of sight from these guns here. Now you might say, well, the guns, how can that be dirty? They've only destroyed one gun. There's still 3 guns there. Well, the Russian player will be now thinking, what am I going to do? I'm not going to move from this position because I'm going to lose dug in, and dug in's kind of valuable because it's a 3+ firepower check, which you kind of need it with a gun team. Having a 5+ save for gun teams is kind of crappy, so having it being dug in, at least you get a firepower test to get dug out, so it's like 2 hits, you might as well say. So basically in this situation, you roll a hit, they hit, and then you get to roll to save. Okay, he didn't save, you need a 5+ for a gun team, and then it's a firepower test, and just say you rolled a 1, then nothing happens to a gun team, they stay there. But because he rolled a 1, then this gun is destroyed. Now, this is the interesting part. These guys, these martyrs, have done their job. Now they're going to be sitting here doing their little move as much as they can. Now, Stormtroopers, like any movement in Flames of War, it doesn't come without a risk. You could fail to get back behind the wall. It's very simple. But it is worth it, because what you're effectively doing is taking this unit completely out the game. This whole unit here, he will be focused on these martyrs because he doesn't want to lose a platoon. That's not good, and he definitely wants to kill the platoon as well. But he's also taking this platoon, or this company, out of the fight. This company here now is not worried about nothing else on the battlefield. So for argument's sake, say you're doing your little move or your little tactical thing here, you could have a couple of Panzer ends, I don't know, coming down the back, round the side, ready for some sort of an outflanking maneuver, or you could have infantry doing the same thing. And this guy is more worried about this here and other things that need protecting. For instance, if it was Panzer ends and stuff, something that was a little bit more value, they could be doing their thing on the battlefield, free reign sort of thing. So the Stormtrooper move, and it doesn't just go with tanks and this sort of scenario. This can be used for infantry, anything. If your infantry wants to, you're trying to get in to make an assault, trying to get in closer, trying to run across a battlefield so you can get within assault a turn earlier. So for instance, what makes it dangerous for infantry, you move your 6, you have a Stormtrooper move, next turn you can move 6, and then effectively have an assault second turn, because you've pretty much all covered, 18 inches up the battlefield, 16 to 18 inches. Now, if you're Italians, this is different. They've got something called Advanti, which is very similar, and it makes it very, very dangerous for Italians, simply because their Advanti is like a Stormtrooper move, but done in the shooting step. So instead of done in the assault step, it's done in the shooting step. So effectively they can have a 14-inch assault range, and that's something else we'll talk about at a later date. So I will go through some of these different army rules and different doctrines and stuff for different armies, and just point out how they can be made cheesy and effective when used effectively. And I will recap on some of these things at a later date too, and just go over certain ones as well, and just in different scenarios and that may apply for, say, a combination of a couple of moves to pull off something pretty cheesy. So, alright guys, cheers.